Now focusing on writing equations of straight lines or writing linear equations when we're given certain pieces of information. For most of these example problems, we're going to be writing our equations in slope-intercept form. And if you recall from the previous section, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And the two variables that we need to plug into our equation, m and b. Remember, m stands for slope, b stands for our y-intercept. So we're going to be given pieces of information. When we have the slope and the y-intercept, we can then write our equation in slope-intercept form. Let's look at example A. Write the equation of a line that goes through a point and has a slope. So we're already given our slope of -2. Now we just need our y-intercept. And if you notice something about this point, remember the y-intercept is where x equals 0. So our y-intercept is actually 5. So you're actually given both your b and your m values, so you can go ahead and write your equation y equals -2x plus 5. Okay. Let's try this next example. Write the equation of a line that intersects the y-axis at 3. So again, that should tell you something. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So you're given your y-intercept, you're given your b value of 3, and it's parallel to the line 2x minus 4y equals 8. So if we still need to solve for our slope, and we know that parallel lines have the same slope, then we can go ahead and find the slope of this line, 2x minus 4y equals 8. And then we're going to have the slope of the line that's parallel. Let's first put it in slope-intercept form. So we need to solve for y. So we can move that 2x to the other side. The y by itself. We're now in, where negative over negative becomes a positive. We're now in slope-intercept form, and you can see the slope of this equation is 1/2. So the line parallel to that equation would also have a slope of 1/2. And our equation would be 1/2 x plus 3. Remember, anytime we're writing in slope-intercept form, you need two things, slope and y-intercept. Okay, let's continue now where we're given a point and a slope. If you're given a point and a slope, point-slope form is sometimes an easier equation to write, and then you can just convert into slope-intercept by solving for y. So in example C, the equation of a line that goes through a point and has a slope. Remember, point-slope form. Let's write this up here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. x1 and y1, that's where our point is plugged in, and m is our slope. So when we plug in our y1, we have y minus -3 equals -1/2 times x minus 2. Don't forget, a negative times a negative becomes a positive, so this becomes y plus 3. Distribute that 1/2 to both because we want our final answer in slope-intercept form. Move the y over. This is the solving for y part, -1/2 x minus 2. And we have the equation of this line going through the point to -3 with a slope of -1/2 in slope-intercept form. Let's try the same for D. Again, you're given a point. It's crossing through this point, and it's perpendicular to the line y equals -3x plus 1. Remember, for perpendicular lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocals. So the new slope would need to be positive 1/3. Plug this into point-slope form. We have y minus 1 equals 1/3 times x minus -2. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 times x plus 2. Let's solve for y and put it into slope-intercept form. So y minus 1 equals 1/3 x plus 2/3. 1/3 times 2 is 2/3. add the 1 to the other side. I'm just going to rewrite the 1 as 3 over 3, so we have like denominators, and we're left with 1/3 x plus 5 over 3. I'm okay with you leaving the y-intercept as an improper fraction. If you want to write it as a mixed number, that works too. Okay. The last situation is when you're not given any information. We don't have the slope and we don't have the y-intercept. So we need to solve for both. We have 2 points here. We can find the slope by using our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's go ahead and do that. 20 minus 15. If you start with the 20, that means you need to start with the -8. -8 minus -6. Be careful with those double negatives. 5 over -2. Great. To get your y-intercept, well, you now have a point and a slope. You have 2 points. So you can just use the same process we did on the previous problem where you plug in a point into point slope form. Let's do that. Y minus 20, I'm going to use this first point, equals -5 over 2 times x minus -8. And then just solve for y, because again, we want our final answer in slope-intercept form. -5 over 2x. Sorry, this would become x plus 8. So minus 2 goes into our 8 4 times, so minus 20. And then solve for y. Move the 20 to the other side. Get y equals -5 over 2x. Great. If there's no y-intercept, because -20 and +20 cancel each other out, that means our y-intercept is just going through the origin, and that's totally okay. One other process you could use, if you wanted to, you could just plug in your point into slope-intercept form, because remember, x and y, those represent a point. So let's show that method too. Let's use the same point, this -8, +20. You could use either point, but we're just going to use the same point here. The y is 20. The slope we already found, it's -5 over 2. X is -8 for this point, and then we're going to solve for the b. We still need the y-intercept. We still need our b value. 2 goes into our 8 4 times, and we get +20 plus b. So there you can see you get the same thing. You get a y-intercept of 0. So you would write your equation the same exact way here. Okay. All right, for homework, I would like you guys to do numbers 1 through 9. Oops. All on this page. And again, I'll post the answers right before, so don't forget to check your work when you are done.